Hey guys, Mike here. So today we're going to talk about Palantir stock news, and it's been pretty quiet on the home front. So we're going to look at the chart, and then we're going to look at the commercial contracts, and then what really we need to be looking out for, which might move the stock besides just the market moving up. Also, because you've seen this with other defense contractors per se, with what's going on in the world over there in Russia and stuff. And so if you get anything out of it, hit the like and subscribe button, notifications all, really appreciate that, guys. And let's start off with the chart first. And when we look at the chart, you can see it's had a really nice move up from the bottom as the market's moved up. I mean, it's like a 20-something% move there coming into this week. And then when we look, it's only about a 3.5% move total for the week. It started to move up, and then it moved sideways and consolidated. And of course, the next resistance level we're looking at is going to be around the 1430 range, somewhere in there, if it continues to move higher with the market. And when we pull up the moving average, you can see the reason why it started consolidating is because it got rejected and off the 50 EMA right there, I believe that is. And so, we got to see if we can move above that, which will give us a nice bullish signal. And of course, again, there's your next line of resistance right above that. And then, so there's a lot, just a lot of resistance levels, a lot of moving averages to try to get back through and capture. And so it's going to be a lot of work. It's not going to be a straight up and down. And when we look over at, our friend at Tip Ranks here, you can see there really hadn't been anything going on with analysts. This is the last time we had it was Piper Sandler, and that's a long time ago. We look at what's going on with insider trading. You don't really got anything going on there. News sentiment were very positive last week. Now we're back to neutral. Remember, I told you rarely get a bunch of news out about Palantir, but the reason why was, of course, a lot of it was coming from the war in Ukraine and what defense contractors were going to get, because you're going to have the budget passing here, and you can break this down into bearish and bullish news. And you can see the last bullish news was put out about 4 days ago. The good thing is there's not really any bearish news, so that's a plus as well. And I know you guys always like me to let you know that Tip Ranks is doing a 30% off sale starting today through Thursday. So take a look at that. Hit the link down in the bottom right there if you want to take advantage of that. And so that leads us into the commercial contracts, right? Like, who are they partnered with, who do they have the contracts with. And so I love, I'm a visual guy, so I love a picture. So I found this on Twitter. I think actually one of you guys sent it to me, and I appreciate that. And you can see right here of companies that they're partnered with or have as clients, and you can just see right here. I mean, BMW, obviously 3M, Hyundai. You got Amazon, you got PG&E, BP, AT&T, Avis, Rio Tinto, Citibank, IBM, CVS, Airbus. Pretty much, Dave & Buster's over there. You got, who else we got down here? MD Anderson Center. You have Apache. You got John Deere. You got IBM, United Airlines, AbbVie. And of course, when I count that up, it's about 98, but we know they obviously have 147 total commercial customer accounts. And I think what that picture shows me, and the reason why I want to make sure you saw it, was it really shows how many different industries they're in, right? I mean, if you look on there, there's not too many industries that are missing, right? And so, of course, their technology and software is very sticky. And so, and I've read the reports of what they've done for mining and for healthcare. And we all know about the rollout they did, across the world when it comes to the vaccine rollout. And so it's like their software just does something that others just can't do, right? And so that's why I think a lot of people are really big on the commercial side of them being able to grow this. And so because when those people like Rio Tinto, I've read good things about that. You don't think the other mining companies are going to look and say, wait a minute, if they're doing that for them, why don't we jump on board, right? Because who else are they going to go with? And so, stuff like that, CVS, all the rest of them in the healthcare and the finance, you name it, they're pretty much into it. And so at least to get a visual on that always helps me kind of keep perspective. But the thing we got to really look out for is what you're seeing happening right now is obviously with this push for everybody to increase defense spending, right? We're passing our budget here. So during the summertime, you're going to see that money has to be spent by X date. And so that's when you're going to start seeing the contracts roll out. And you're already starting to see that because other defense contractors have already started getting contracts. I know I've seen Boeing, Lockheed Martin, and some others. And, this is, why. I mean, this come out just recently where it says, 7 European nations have increased defense budgets in one month. And if you look at them, it's Germany, Belgium, Romania, Italy, Poland, Norway, even Sweden, of all places, which I think was kind of a surprise for a lot of people because they're very neutral. Most of the money is going to be coming from, obviously, Germany. Increasing there is probably the most. Then you got Sweden. They plan to up the defense budget to 2% of their GDP. And then the big one, which I didn't think got a lot of play to it whatsoever, was this article says big countries play down calls to waive defense from EU deficit rules, because there's rules that I didn't even know existed until now when it comes to how they account for their defense spending. And it says a push from Central and Eastern Europe to exempt defense spending from EU rules on budget deficits ran into resistance from other capitals on Monday, but has not yet been ruled out. And what this would do, and the reason why it's kind of a big deal, is because a waiver would allow governments to ramp up public spending on defense without counting it as deficit spending. Paris, Berlin, and The Hague are less enthusiastic, however, ahead of reform negotiations due later this year. And so, of course, this is how we obviously spend so much, almost like $800 billion on defense, because pretty much all of ours is deficit spending, debt, and all that good stuff. We throw everything on the credit card. We can do that. Those countries don't seem to be allowed to do that, but if they get the waiver and are allowed to do it, you're going to see a whole bunch of defense contracts come out and start flying off the shelves, which means a lot of money for a lot of different companies. And so obviously a lot of people think Palantir should be a part of that. I don't know how they won't be, because even if they don't get an individual contract, they work with other defense contractors as well on the software side. And so we'll have to see what goes on there. Or I don't know, even if these are going to be public contracts, I don't even know. So we'll have to find that out. But it's been, it's been quiet right now, right, on the Palantir front, which, they go through these times where, go 2 or 3 weeks and you don't get any news, right, of any contracts or anything else. Then they report earnings and all of a sudden here's 50 contracts or something. And you're like, what? I don't know what the deal with that is, but maybe they do it on purpose. Who knows? Maybe they're not allowed to disclose, obviously, some of the contracts and stuff like that. We know that, especially on the government side. And I did find it interesting, for those who didn't hear, and I was going to put it in here, but I decided not to, that obviously Ark came out this week and doubled down and pretty much said why they sold out of Palantir and stuff. And so still has to do with the government contract. So again, that was one of the people didn't like Palantir because of the government contracts. Now they don't like them because they don't have enough government contracts. And so it's just interesting times for Palantir, to say the least. So, but at least it's moved up with the market, consolidating sideways. If the market continues to move up and the war in Russia continues to go on and defense spending obviously continues to increase, stuff like that, you could obviously see, Palantir stock moving up and benefiting from that. And, obviously first quarter's coming to an end in a week. They won't report for a while. But, if you start getting news that they're getting contracts out of all of this, then you can pretty much guarantee the stock to move up as long as the market's moving up. This is obviously one of the craziest markets I think anybody's ever seen right now. And so, volatility is coming down. So we'll see if we continue to move up and set an all-time new high. Because coming into April, April was like one of the best, if not the best month in the stock market usually every year. And so we'll see if that actually continues. We've been breaking trends and patterns lately. So we'll see if that actually happens or not. So hope you guys got some out of it. Hit the like, subscribe button if you did. I really appreciate that. Don't forget, look at the link down the bottom for a 10th rank sale, 30% off if you want to take advantage of that. And I'll see you guys later.